Kadosh fall on me, send down Haruach, set me free. Kadosh fall on me, send down Haruach, set me free. I've waited so long to feel you, searching and praying for truth, doubting the power you promised me, was afraid to lift my hands to you. Lost and confused on my way down, and that's when you opened my eyes. You touched my heart, now I'm brand new. Then you changed my name, gave me life. Kadosh Ruach, fall on me, send down Haruach, set me free. Kadosh Ruach, fall on me, send down Haruach, set me free. To speak with the tongue of creation, teach me to love like you do, yeah, yes. I'm tired of being the way I am. On my knees Abba, crying to you. Take my heart and erase my pain. Yahshua, revive me again. From now on, I won't be ashamed. No, no, you are worthy, Yahweh, to be praised. Kadosh Ruach, fall on me, send down Haruach, hey, set me free, yes. Holy Spirit, fall on me, send down your Spirit, set me free, yes. Yahweh, need you. Yahweh, need you. I do. Yahweh, need you. Yahweh, need you. Yahweh, love you. Yah, I love you, yes. Yah, I love you. Yah, Send down Haruach and set me free. Kadosh Ruach, fall on me. Send down Haruach, set me free. Kadosh Ruach, fall on me. Send down Haruach, set me free. I've waited so long to feel you, searching and praying for truth, doubting the power you promised me, was afraid to lift my hands to you. Lost and confused on my way down, and that's when you opened my eye. You touched my heart, now I'm brand new. Then you changed my name, gave me life. Kadosh Ruach, fall on me. Send down Haruach, set me free. Kadosh Ruach, fall on me. Send down Haruach, set me free. Yes, to speak with the tongue of creation. Teach me to love like you do, yeah, yes. I'm tired of being the way I am. On my knees I'm crying to you. Take my heart and erase my pain. Yahshua, revive me again. From now on, I won't be ashamed. No, no, you are worthy, Yahweh, to be praised. Kadosh Ruach, fall on me. Send down Haruach, hey, set me free. Yes, Holy Spirit, fall on me. Send down your Spirit, set me free. Yes, Yahweh, we need you. Yahweh, we need you. I do. Yahweh, we need you. Yahweh, we need you. Yahweh, we love
Yo, okay. All praise, glory, and unto the Most High. Shabbat Shalom. Had to turn my mic on. Shabbat Shalom to the 12 tribes scattered abroad and to the stranger who so chooses to convert and sojourn amongst Israel. Pray y'all having a blessed Shabbat. Pray y'all had a blessed week. Pray y'all are filled with the Ruach. Pray y'all are staying in His Word and staying alert. Right? Y'all see the title. It's for another Freestyle Friday, man. Excuse me. And the topic we're gonna be going over today, you see, is based on Sirach 5:15. Right? Let me go and bring that scripture out. Hold on. Let me pull it up here. Y'all ain't been seeing your brother in a minute, man. Been handling business on the other side of the screen and letting life take its course, man, and trying to stay out of the way, handle my business, and be quiet. All right. So let me share my screen real quick. Sirach 5:15, and it says, right, be not ignorant. Be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or a small. Be not ignorant of anything, excuse me, in a great matter or a small. All right, so we can't be servants of the Most High and become oblivious to what's going on around us, right? Because we are I ain't gonna say encouraged, I ain't gonna say admonished. We are commanded to watch and pray. Yeah, true. Scripture does say, we are in the world, not of the world. Right? But that don't mean that you be ignorant of what's going on in the world, so you won't be able to warn others about what's coming, these certain agendas, and prophecy being fulfilled and things of that nature, right? Be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or a small. On your job, if you are a good employee, quote unquote, a good employee on your job, whatever your job title is, I guarantee you not going to try to be ignorant or without the knowledge of anything that pertains to your job so that you can do your job and be on point. Make sure you get that check every week or bi-weekly or, you receive your income, right? So when it comes to this truth, when it comes to this walk, when it comes to this prophecy, when it comes to this law, when it comes to things that please to the Most High, we are not supposed to be ignorant of anything, right? Let me pull this scripture. I was talking to my real earlier about this scripture, man, and it stood out to me. It stood out to me. Hold on. Let me pull this. Well, I can't spell. Right? Let me pull this right here. Y'all forget your boy, your lit time. Right here. It's John 8. I'm going to start at verse 28. It says, then said the Messiah unto them, when ye have lifted up the Son of Man, then shall ye know that I am he, and that I do nothing of myself, but as my Father hath taught me, I speak these things. And he that sent me is with me. The Father hath not left me alone, for I do always those things that please him. Right? The Messiah says he does always those things that please the Father. Excuse me. And that should be our desire as well. If we have the desire to always do the things that please the Father, we cannot be ignorant. We cannot be ignorant of what those things are. We can't. Right? Let me get a precept. Let's go to the book of Romans, chapter 1. Start at verse 18. Right? It says, for the wrath of Yah is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men who hold the truth in unrighteousness, because that which may be known of Yah is manifest in them, for Yah hath showed it unto them. So the things that may be known of the Most High is manifest in you. It's manifest in you. Right? Like Messiah said, you ain't got to look over here and over there and wait for the kingdom to come. For lo, the kingdom is within. The kingdom is within you. Right? Let me get a quick precept to that. I'm gonna read this real quick. Out the Apocalypse of Sirach. Find it here. Oh boy, I had a long day. Y'all bear with your brother. Right? This is the book of Sirach. And I'm gonna start at chapter 5. They real short chapters. I'm gonna read I'm gonna read all of chapter 5 in the chapter 6. Right? It reads, Sirach said to him, it was by your will that Adam was deceived. My master, you commanded your angel to worship Adam, but he who was first among the angels disobeyed your order and did not worship him. And so you banished him because he transgressed your commandment and did not come forth to worship the creation of your hands. Right? That is major. And the second witness to that is in the life of Adam and Eve in the volume 2 of the Pseudepigrapha. But we always say Satan is an imitator. Satan is a great imitator. He doing nothing original. So you got to ask yourself in Revelation 13, why, or is it 16? Why is Revelation 13? Why is Satan going to attempt to make people worship his image? Because it's the same thing. It's the same thing that he rebelled against in the beginning when Adam was created. We reading it right here. He rebelled against Adam. I mean, not against Adam, but against the Most High, because he didn't want to worship the image of the Most High. Right? So now he's going to force people to worship his image, just like he was supposed to worship the image of the Father, which is man. Right? But he didn't want to worship the image of the Father, because the image of the Father he felt was inferior to him because he was an angel. He was an anointed cherub. Right? That's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother topic for a whole nother live stream. Right? It says right here, verse 3, if you loved man, why did you not kill the devil, the artificer of all iniquity? Who can fight against an invisible spirit? Right? You would want to know, like, that's an excellent question. How can you fight the invisible? You can't. Not physically, anyway, right? Who can fight against an invisible spirit? He enters the hearts of men like a smoke and teaches them all kinds of sin. He even fights against you, the immortal power. And so what can pitiful man do against him? Yeah. So I fight. But you knowing that, you can't be ignorant of what weapons are at your whim for you to use to fight this fight. Nor can you be ignorant of what tactics you can use to fight this fight and how you can win this fight. You can't be ignorant of that. You can't just go, oh well, I can't fight the invisible. I'm just gonna, I'm gonna tap out. No, you can't do that, right? Because we gonna read and then Romans 1 and look. Once we get done with this, we gonna read in Romans 1. Like, you ain't got no excuse. You ain't gonna have no excuse. Everybody's gonna be held accountable. Just like Adam and Eve was in the garden. They tried to pass the blame. Now you ain't gonna be able to pass the blame. You gonna be held accountable. You're gonna be held accountable. I gave this to you. I created you with me in you. Right? We're gonna read. All right. It says, yet have mercy, master, and destroy punishment. Otherwise, receive me also with the sinners. For if you will not be merciful with the sinners, where are your mercies and where is your compassion, O master? Right? And check this out. And Elohim said to him, be it known to you that everything which I commanded man to do was within his reach. Everything I commanded man to do was within his reach. I made him wise in the air of heaven and earth, and I subordinated everything under him, and every living thing flees from him and from his face. Come on now. Everything is within your reach. Why? Let me show you something real quick. Deuteronomy, I believe it is chapter 30. Deuteronomy chapter 30. And verse 11. Boy, I don't know what is coming over me. I had all this energy before the stream started, and now, boy, depart from me, Hashatan. Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 11. Right, it says, for this commandment which I command thee this day, it is not hidden from thee, neither is it far off. It is not in heaven, that thou shouldest say, who shall go up for us to heaven and bring it to us, that we may hear it and do it. Neither is it beyond the sea, that thou shouldest say, who shall go over the sea for us and bring it unto us, that we may hear it and do it. Why? But the word is very nigh unto thee. in thy mouth and in thy heart, that thou mayest do it. See that? The commandments are already in your heart. It's in your DNA. It's in your DNA. You have the breath of the Most High flowing throughout your body. If you are living and breathing, that breath you breathing, that spirit, that nefesh that is within you, that made you a living soul, comes from the Most High. So everything in that, you with everything in that, you have everything to do what's right. We are born with it, that moral compass to tell us what's right and what's wrong. You already know. You see it in your children. Right? Let me show you something else. We go to this second Ezra 16. Let me see right here. Right? Second Ezra 16. And I'm straight freestyling this right here. Right? Second Ezra 16 and verse, I'm going to start at 52. Right? It says, for yet a little iniquity shall be taken away out of the earth, and righteousness shall reign among you. Let not the sinner say that he hath not sinned, for Yah shall burn coals of fire upon his head, which said before the Most High Yah and his glory, I have not sinned. Yeah, that's a straight up lie, right? Script even say, for we all have sinned and fallen short and come short of the glory of Mashiach. Don't try to fix your face and say that you have not sinned. Don't do it, because you had a whole life, right? You had a whole life before you came into the knowledge of this truth, or until the Most High decided to awaken you to the knowledge of his truth. Right? Verse 54 says, behold, the Most High knoweth all the works of men, their imaginations, their thoughts, and their hearts. He know when we're going to go off. He know it. We just got to resist and flee that temptation. Resist and flee sin as from the face of a serpent. Right, verse 55, it says, which spake but the word, let the earth be made, and it was made. Let the heaven be made, and it was created. In his word were the stars made, and he knoweth the number of them. He searcheth the deep and the treasures thereof. He hath measured the sea and what it containeth. He hath shut the sea in the midst of the waters, and with his word hath he hanged the earth upon the waters. That's a whole nother lesson. Y'all stay tuned. I'm coming back out with these Marine Kingdom lessons. Stay tuned. All right. Verse 59, it says, he spreadeth out the heavens like a vault. Upon the waters hath he founded it. The heavens is founded upon waters. Anyway, verse 60, in the desert hath he made springs of water and pools upon the tops of the mountains, that the floods might pour down from the high rocks to water the earth. This is what I want to get to, right? He made man, verse 61, he made man and put his heart in the midst of the body and gave him breath life, and what else? Understanding. Gave him breath, life, and understanding. All right? So let's go back to this Romans 1. Let's go back to this Romans 1. All right, what did he say? Because that which may, verse 19, because that which may be known of Yah is manifest in them. He created you to know the works of the Most High. He created you to have the understanding of his glory, to have the understanding of his works. He created that in you, right? For Yah hath showed it unto them. How? Verse 20, for the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, right? You can't even, take wind, for instance. You can't see wind. That's an invisible thing. But you can look at a tree when the wind is blowing and clearly see the wind at work. Clearly. Right? For the invisible things from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse. Be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or a small. You can't say, well, Father, I didn't know. He gonna look at you like you stupid. No, you can't say that. You can't say that. All right. Let's get some more script before we get into the videos. I got a lot of videos I want to show. Right? I already grabbed that dude to run me. This Second Chronicles. Second Chronicles. Is it 19? Second Chronicles 19, right? Second Chronicles 19, 7 through 10. Why I got this in here? I'm gonna read it anyway. All right, it says, wherefore now let the fear of the Most High be upon you. Wherefore now let the fear of the Most High be upon you. Take heed and do it. For there is no iniquity with the Most High our power, nor respect of persons, nor taking of gifts. You can't bribe him. And you can't be like, well, Father, you made me captain over 100,000. No. He don't care if you he don't care if you President Trump or if you the homeless man that ain't got nothing to his name. He don't care. Everybody's gonna be held to the same measuring stick. Everybody is gonna get put on. Everybody's deeds and words are gonna get weighed on the same scale. Everybody, right? It says verse 8, moreover, in Jerusalem did Jehoshaphat set of the Levites and of the priests and of the chief of the fathers of Israel for the judgment of the Most High and for controversies when they returned to Jerusalem. And he charged them, saying, thus shall ye do in the fear of the Most High, faithfully and with a perfect heart. And what cause soever shall come to you of your brethren that dwell in their cities between blood and blood, between law and commandment, statutes and judgments, ye shall even warn them. Warn them. Warn them that they trespass not against the Most High, and so wrath come upon you and upon your brethren. This do, and ye shall not trespass. How you gonna warn your brothers of what's coming if you ignorant of it? How you gonna warn your brothers of the wrath that's about to come on this earth if you ignorant of it? How are you gonna warn your people about prophecy being fulfilled, about how to prepare for the impending doom that's about to come on this earth, and you ignorant of it? How? Be not ignorant of anything. That's anything. Whether a great matter or a small. Don't be ignorant of it. Whether it's a matter of, why the Most High created the sun, or, how to get the toe jam out from in between your toes. Whether a great matter or a small, don't be ignorant of it. Right? Let's keep it moving. Go to Ezekiel 3. Let's go to Ezekiel 3. Ezekiel 3. I got 17. Boy, I got gas going on here. Ezekiel 3. I'm going to read 17 through 21. All right. It says, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Now, whether you want to be or not, whether you would like to be or not, if you're watching this video, if you call yourself a child, a son, or a daughter of Israel, if you are taking on the nationality, a lot of people treat this thing like a religion, right? You say, oh, yeah, I'm a Hebrew Israelite, and then something bad happened to him. Oh, I ain't a Hebrew Israelite no more. No, you were born a Hebrew Israelite. If you're a son or daughter of the transatlantic, sub-Saharan, or Spanish Inquisition slave trades, you are a son or daughter of Israel, right? But if you are knowingly professing it, right? You knowingly professing it, you call yourself a Hebrew Israelite, a believer and a follower of Christ, a doer of the commandments, right? Whether you want to be or not, you have been made a watchman unto the house of Israel. Right now, you are instructed. I can't find the word that I'm looking for. You are instructed. It's almost like your duty, your responsibility to walk towards them that are without. You have to do that. Why? All right. Start this 17 from the top. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word in my mouth and give them warning from me. When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand. This is why. Obligated. Thank you, I cannot. Boy, all praise, glory unto the Most High. You in the spirit. obligated. You are obligated to warn your people. Why? Because if there is somebody wicked that you know or in your vicinity, and you don't warn them to turn away from their sin before the wrath of the Most High, before the judgment of the Most High come upon this earth, and they die, guess what? His blood or their blood gonna be required at your hand. Right? Verse 19. Yet, if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul. We in the deliverance game. We're in the deliverance game. One, we trying to be delivered from our iniquities, from our sins, from our past life, from this current flesh that's constantly trying to rise up. We trying to be delivered every 24 hours that we wake up. So in our deliverance, why not take that and try to deliver another soul and another soul and another soul after that, so that we have more on the side of Christ than they have fallen with Satan. But prophecy is prophecy, right? 2/3 of Israel gonna be destroyed, and many gonna be at the broad gate. That's, at the wide gate, rather. This prophecy is prophecy. We can't trump, we can't stop, we can't alter the Most High's prophecy. He said his word shall go forth and it will not come back void. It's going to accomplish that which he has said. So it is what it is. But we have to still speak this word, because we never know who the Most High going to put his spirit on. We never know, right? The mission is to save that soul, to get that one sheep, that one soul, so we can rejoice with all the angels in heaven for that soul that's repented, as we continue our walk of repentance, right? Verse 20, it says, again, when a righteous man doth turn from his righteousness and commit iniquity, and I lay a stumbling block before him, he shall die. You know what that stumbling block is? It's that sin that you so love that you constantly falling into. It's that stumbling block. Constantly. All right. It says, because thou hast not given him warning, he shall die in his sin, and his righteousness which he hath done shall not be remembered, but his blood will I require at thine hand. See, you don't know who's righteous and who's wicked. You just got to go give the people warning. It's your duty. It's your, like the brother said, obligation to warn the people. All right. Verse 21, it says, nevertheless, if thou warn the righteous man that the righteous man sin not, and he doth not sin, he shall surely live, because he is warned. Because he is warned. Also, thou hast delivered thy soul. How we gonna live if we don't get warning? We got warning. Huh? We got the warning. So why can't we go warn other people? You know, almost, was at a point to where I was almost like ashamed to say that I loved doing this. But I love doing this. One, I love reading the word of the Most High. Two, I love gaining and increasing knowledge. And most importantly, I love giving warning to the people when the Most High put it on my spirit. And going, whatever word he give me, whatever he revealed to me coming into and revealing it to however many people will watch this live stream or the rebroadcast, however many people will watch this video or any video. I feel obligated. This is my duty. And we all have to feel that way. We should all feel some type of way if we walk past a fellow Israelite or anybody and the Most High put it on your spirit to say something and we don't. We should feel a way. It should pain us to the core that we didn't obey the spirit. All right? And don't ever be scared. Don't ever be scared or doubt, because this is exactly what Satan wants you to. He wants you to keep your mouth closed. He wants you to not share the gospel. He does not want anyone to receive the salvation of Yah. So anytime you spread the gospel, guess what? Whether somebody converts or not, you still turn down his kingdom because you spreading the gospel. All right. Now I got a few videos that I want to play. Hold up. I got a few videos that I want to play. Right. I don't know if people are into these type of things or watch these type of things, but I myself have been by my family called a conspiracy theorist a couple times over. And I just like looking into this hidden world that goes on around us, all this secrecy that happens in the dark. Like right now, even right now, as we are on this video right now, as I speak, there is someone somewhere doing something for Satan to push forth the coming of the Antichrist. Right now, as we speak. Right. And I know y'all see the hashtag Mighty, hashtag Antichrist, hashtag Pope. Yeah, we're going to get into all of that. Let's talk about it. All right. Let me play this video real quick. All right. This video is by the Dot Connector. He also has a channel called Up TV. And the video is titled "Welcome to the Beast System. You're already in it." Right. Little backstory about this brother. He used to be he probably does still consider himself a Christian, but he no longer says Christ anymore. He says Yeshua. He's also not keeping any pagan holidays. He's keeping the biblical feast days. Praise glory unto the Most High. Uh, I had been watching the brother for a minute, and he came out and did a video saying he was keeping I think it was the Feast of Unleavened Bread. I said, what? It's like 2-3 years ago. But yeah, y'all check this out. I'm gonna shut my mouth because I can go on and on. Y'all check this out and pay close attention.
That's a Phrygian cap. It stands for freedom, and that's a Masonic eye. Now those two come together in only one place.
What up, y'all? It's the Dot Connector, and for years, people debated what the rise of the beast system will look like. Would it be a sudden collapse of governments, a one-world religion, a universal microchip implanted in every human? While theories varied, most assumed it was still somewhere on the horizon, but that assumption is no longer sustainable. The systems of surveillance, economic control, and digital deception described in Revelation 13 are no longer theoretical. They are functioning. They are global. They are here. And now, it's no longer a question of if this system is rising, but how far it's already gone. This is not.
Now, y'all pay attention. He's showing this right here is a video game. As he's speaking, what is playing while he's speaking is a video game. And I often tell people, man, their agenda, they not only put it in music, they put it in TV shows, they put it in movies, they put it in video games, they put it in commercials. It's all in your face. And guess what? You're not going to have no excuse to say, I did not know. Pay attention to this stuff, right? Scripts say we are not ignorant of Satan's devices. We can't be ignorant of Satan's devices.
Not just the beginning of something dark, it's the middle of something prophetic. The beast system has been activated, and most people have welcomed it under the guise of convenience, safety, and entertainment. This is your warning. Time is running out, and your only hope of escaping what's coming is to give your life fully to Christ, because what we're about to reveal isn't just political or technological. It's spiritual. It's eternal.
The beast is going to be whatever entity, a group of nations it speaks of, that will set into motion. We always talk about globalists and the globalist agenda and all these things. It will be a globalized stranglehold on the human population. It will be a globalized stranglehold on the human population.
The Dot Connector here. The transmission is unstable, but we're holding the line. Stay tuned. The final piece is about to be revealed.
Family, the world is in serious danger now. Inflation is causing food prices to skyrocket. The global supply chain continues to collapse, and the coming food shortages will be worse than anything we've lived through. In times like these, what should you do? Go to uptvsurvival.com and invest in long-term emergency food storage from my friends at My Patriot Supply while you still can. My Patriot Supply is the largest preparedness company in America with millions of satisfied customers. Their food lasts for up to 25 years in storage. When you need it, you will have it and avoid government food lines. Act quickly and save $200 on a vital 3-month emergency food kit. This kit provides a variety of delicious foods totaling over 2,000 calories a day. You won't go hungry when you have this emergency food, period. Go to uptvsurvival.com and save $200 on every 3-month food kit. That's uptvsurvival.com. Protect your family and secure this emergency food today by going to uptvsurvival.com.
Welcome back. You survived the blackout. The greatest show in the universe continues. And we are the Dot Connectors.
There are 6 key pillars already in place that are forming a digital matrix, a prison where your identity, behavior, finances, faith, and even your thoughts can be monitored and controlled. Each of these pillars plays a role in setting the stage for the rise of the Antichrist and the enforcement of the mark of the beast. Let's begin with the first, digital identification systems. Across the world, nations are rolling out centralized digital ID systems that combine your personal data, biometric scans, health records, financial access, and social accounts into a single digital identity. It's presented as a convenience, but it's really a collar.
For those who think the Great Reset is not going to control every aspect of your life, let me give you a couple of things. They are now taking the next step to shape global, regional, and industry agendas, end quote, with a new digital ID system. Under the framework, the WEF proposes collecting data from many aspects of people's everyday lives. That's a quote. Through their devices, telecommunication networks, and third-party service providers. The WEF suggests that this data collection dragnet would allow a digital ID. Now listen to this, it's very narrow. It would.
If y'all haven't seen this movie called Snowden, I suggest y'all go watch that. If you already know what I'm talking about and I'm referring to. But this movie, what he just said, like this digital ID, they'll be able to have basically all of your identity. They'll be able to get your information through your phone, through your emails, through your computer, through whatever. And this is all done, guess what? Through the NSA. That's not supposed to be hacking into your life to spy on you, but to protect you from foreign and domestic terrorists. National security, not national spy. But wait a minute, I guess we got the S wrong. Huh? It's the National Spy Association. National Spy Administration. Got to understand these people is not for us. All these alphabets are a part of the beast system. Right? And we're going to get into that. I had a very, very excellent video that I did a couple years ago called The President of the World, right? And it was going into who really runs the world. You know, yeah, America might be this superpower, and they say whoever is the president of America is the leader of the free world. No. I'm gonna read a little bit into that tonight, but I'm gonna bring that I'm gonna bring that back out. I'm just gonna exclude the medical misinformation that they struck it for. Right? Let's get back to it.
Allow a digital ID to scoop up data on people's online behavior, purchase history, network usage, credit history, biometrics, names, national identity numbers, and medical history. Plus your travel history, social accounts, e-government accounts, bank accounts, energy uses, health stats, education, and I love this one, and more.
When everything about you is digitized and linked, your freedom becomes a switch, one that someone else controls. If your digital profile is flagged, you could instantly lose access to your money, medical care, communication platforms, and more.
This is how they are able, this is how they will be able to tell you that if you don't take this mark, if you don't take the mark, right? Be not ignorant.
Erased from the system with no appeal, no trial, no second chance. And this is just the beginning. These systems aren't just capable of identifying you, they're designed to control you.
Anybody ever heard of ID Me? ID Me, right? That's a digital background too, right? If you ever filed your taxes and you had to log in to the IRS website to check on your taxes, or to, if you owed any taxes, you go on there, you want to pay your account down online. Guess what? You got to sign into the IRS with ID Me. That's a digital identification. Same thing the brother is talking about. Some people use that. Some people use that to, do background checks.
The B system doesn't need to physically brand you. It only needs to link your access to life itself with digital compliance. Branding you, they're designed to control you. The B system doesn't need to physically brand you. It only needs to link your access to life itself with digital compliance.
Listen to that.
Brand you. They're designed to control you. The B system doesn't need to physically brand you. It only needs to link your access to life itself with digital compliance.
It only needs to link access to your life itself to digital compliance. The metaverse.
Revelation chapter 13, verse 17 warned us that no one may buy or sell except one who has the mark. That control is already here, and it's just one step away from being global. Take CBDCs, for example. Imagine a world where every cent you earn, every dollar you spend is tracked, limited, and judged.
Several states.
They're already doing it. They're already doing it. I mean, look at these cases with these rappers Yella Beezy and Lil Durk. They're already doing it. Not justified by any means. I won't state my opinion on either one of them. You know what I'm saying? But they're already tracking. You know what I'm saying? In the bond hearing for Yella Beezy, they had all of his bank statements. And for Little Durk, they got everything from his flights being booked to credit cards and cash apps and all of that. They already tracking your digital payments. They're already doing it without permission, without your permission. They're already doing it. Now it's just going to become, quote unquote, legitimate to where, you can't say they are violating your constitutional right. Right? Because all of these terroristic acts and all these quote unquote school shootings and undocumented citizens being illegal migrants, right? Becoming criminals and doing this, that, and the third, you're going to give over your freedom because you want to feel secure. You want to be protected from the big bad guy, the big bad criminal whom they created. This is the beast system. They gonna bring terrorists over here, call them sleeper cells, bring them over here, put them in every quote unquote major city and surrounding major cities and cities surrounding major cities, rather. And when it's time to go, boom, it's gonna pop off. Complete chaos. Now you're going to want protection. Well, guess what? I need to do this, that, and the third. Yes, it goes against the Constitution, but you want to be protected. Well, sorry. Yes, big brother, make us feel secure. There you have it. There you have it. You give over your freedom for protection when our protection is supposed to come from above.
States are now trying to centralize currency with these so-called central bank digital currency, which is, by the way, not currency at all. It's software.
And what is Trump currently trying to do? He's trying to move from the dollar to cryptocurrency. He said, one video I watched, he said, the United States of America will be the cryptocurrency capital of the world.
But they're going to do it for your own good. Obviously, this is a tool of total social control. If they control your money, if they can zero out your bank account with a keystroke, then you have no autonomy. They control you.
Central bank digital currencies are not about innovation. They're about control. Unlike cash, CBDCs are traceable, programmable, and fully governed by centralized authorities. They don't just store value, they enforce policy. With CBDCs, your money can be restricted, only usable in certain areas or stores, timed, spend it by this date or lose it, conditional, based on behavior, vaccination status, or carbon output, or even frozen, shut off instantly if you're labeled non-compliant. Once physical currency is phased out, these digital systems will give authorities total control over your financial existence. No approval, no transaction, no compliance, no access.
Once everyone is used to a purely digital payment means they can simply flick a switch to move the monetary system to the blockchain. You will not even notice this until it actually impacts you. You see, blockchain-based currency is also programmable currency. Government could theoretically limit your ability to spend your money in any way they want to. And they'd also have total control over your money. Say you get a speeding fine. Wait for the check to go. They can take the cash directly from your account. But if you go to a meeting for the wrong political cause, you could have all your money frozen, for example. Maybe you put something on social media that's deemed unacceptable. Well, it could be more than just your Facebook account that's stopped. A central bank digital currency is the ultimate tool of control.
You'll be told it's for your safety, for the environment, for equity, but in truth, it's the mechanism of global enslavement, and it leads straight into algorithmic enforcement. Because when you give the system control over your money, you also give it control over your movement, your access, and your voice. But surveillance alone isn't enough. Watching isn't controlling. To truly dominate the masses, the system must not only observe what you do, it must manipulate how you behave.
We feel very strongly that AI must remain free from ideological bias, and that American AI will not be co-opted into a tool for authoritarian censorship. Now, at this moment, we face the extraordinary prospect of a new industrial revolution.
Wait. Does this even got eyeliner on? Like, somebody put that in the chat. If they look, if y'all see that, this even got eyeliner on.
Par with the invention of the steam engine or Bessemer steel. But it will never come to pass if overregulation deters innovators from taking the risks necessary to advance the ball. Nor will it occur if we allow AI to become dominated by massive players looking to use the tech to censor or control users' thoughts. Many of our most productive tech companies are forced to deal with the EU's Digital Services Act and the massive regulations it created about taking down content and policing so-called misinformation. And of course, we want to ensure the internet is a safe place, but it is one thing to prevent a predator from preying on a child on the internet, And it is something quite different to prevent a grown man or woman from accessing an opinion that the government thinks is misinformation. Now, we've also watched as hostile foreign adversaries have weaponized AI software to rewrite history, surveil users, and censor speech. This is hardly new, of course. As they do with other tech, some authoritarian regimes have stolen and used AI to strengthen their military, intelligence, and surveillance capabilities, capture.
Peep where this summit is. In France. I can't go down yet. It's in France. We're going to speak about France in the French a little bit later.
Foreign data and create propaganda to undermine other nations' national security.
Artificial intelligence has become the new god of this digital empire. All seeing, all listening, always calculating. It watches you through your devices, cameras, apps, and smart home tools. It listens to what you say. It learns how you think. And then it decides how visible you're allowed to be. Speak against the narrative, you're silenced. Search for the truth, you're flagged. Post about the Bible, you're shadow banned. AI doesn't just censor the present, it predicts your future behavior and acts accordingly. The scary part, AI doesn't get tired. It doesn't forget. It doesn't forgive. Once you're labeled, you're marked, and that mark follows you everywhere. This is the beast's mouthpiece, not roaring from a temple, but whispering from the code inside your phone. But what happens after AI flags you as a problem? What comes next is a system that goes beyond watching and listening. It rewards submission and punishes nonconformity.
They're constantly monitored by facial recognition cameras that are able to instantly put a face to a name. Now the Chinese are also ranked, given a mark out of a possible 950 points. A score in the 700s is considered good. Around the 500 mark is not. For now, the number is a sort of bank credit rating, keeping track of everyone's spending habits.
I think being ranked is a good thing. A society has to have rules.
It forces us to be well behaved.
It may seem scary, but it's just like that here. We're used to it. And anyway, we don't have a choice.
But in an effort to keep all of its subjects in line, Beijing is taking the system a step further in 2020. It's aggregating data gathered by banks, private companies, and the state to rate if someone's a good or bad citizen.
By using the most data possible, the so-called big data, the system will play an important role in rebuilding a moral system.
You know what they really basing it off of, if you're a good or a bad citizen? They're really basing it off of, are you in allegiance with the beast and his system, or are you against? Or are you, as the word says, lukewarm with the beast in the beast system? It's really what they're basing it off of.
The state will go over every detail of a person's life with a fine-tooth comb. Their financial situation, spending habits, career, even behavior on social media. Criticizing the government online or displaying outward signs of wealth is a no-no.
Huh? Criticizing the government online. And what she say?
In the government online or displaying outward signs of wealth is a no-no.
Displaying outward signs of wealth is a no-no. So these rappers in trouble. Can't be flashing your money, having all this jewelry on your social medias, your Instagrams, and flashing guns and all that. You can't be doing that. Can't be speaking out against the government. It's a no-no. That's where we at.
On the other hand, praising the party or giving blood increases your social
Praising the party or giving blood. Huh? You want me to give my rich melanated blood that's encoded with Yah's DNA? For what?
credit.
China's social credit system has already shown the world what happens when behavior is tied to access. Post something unapproved, you lose travel privileges. Associate with the wrong people, you lose job opportunities. Fail to praise the system, your score drops, and so does your freedom. In the West, it's happening too. Through cancel culture, demonetization, shadow bans, and ideological censorship.
Shadow bans. It happens to these channels a lot. We streaming on 5 channels right now. It happens to these channels a lot. I be seeing the numbers fluctuate. Be seeing it. Happens a lot. Hey, it is what it is.
And it's not enforced by soldiers. It's enforced by algorithms and mobs. This is digital behavior engineering. And the scariest part, people love it. They're addicted to digital praise, afraid of backlash, and willing to self-censor just to keep their accounts alive. In a world where truth is penalized and compliance is rewarded, righteousness becomes rebellion. But what if people start to feel the pressure? What if they begin to wake up? The system has already prepared for that too, by offering them the ultimate escape, a digital dream world where rebellion dies before it even begins.
Again, I think that the biggest question in maybe in economics and politics of the coming decades will be what to do with all these useless people. I don't think we have an economic model for that. My best guess, which is just a guess, is that food will not be a problem. With that kind of technology, you will be able to produce food to feed everybody. The problem is more boredom and what to do with them, and how will they find some sense of meaning in life when they are basically meaningless, worthless. My best guess at present is a combination of drugs and computer games.
If the system is this obvious, why don't people resist? Because they're too distracted to care. Modern entertainment isn't just a pastime, it's a pacifier. Video games, social media, endless streaming, and virtual reality are engineered to hijack your dopamine, reroute your purpose, and kill your discernment. The metaverse promises a utopia, a world where you can be anything, do anything, and escape everything, except the system itself. In this artificial reality, people buy fake land with real money, build digital families while ignoring real ones, worship false gods while calling it self-expression, all while surveillance continues uninterrupted. What better way to enslave a generation than to trap them in a fantasy world they refuse to leave? When their reality is virtual, their chains won't matter, and they'll walk into them willingly, because at least in the simulation, they feel free. This isn't just a distraction, it's preparation for the final deception, the rise of a false savior.
The reason OpenAI exists at all is that Larry Page and I used to be close friends, and I would talk to him late into the night about AI safety. My perception was that Larry was not taking AI safety seriously enough.
What did he say about it?
He really seemed to be what wants sort of a digital superintelligence, basically digital God, if you will.
He wanted that?
Yes. He's made many public statements over the years that the whole goal of Google is what's called AGI, Artificial General Intelligence, or Artificial Superintelligence. And then at one point, I said, we're going to make sure humanity's okay here. And then he called me a speciesist. I was like, okay, that's it. Yes, I'm a speciesist. Okay. You got me. What are you? Yeah, I'm fully a speciesist. Busted. I mean, while I'm normally in favor of for profit, we don't want this to be sort of profit maximizing demon from hell.
That's right. So you want specious incentives here, incentives that.
Yes,
like,
I think we want pro-human, like the future good for the humans, because we're humans.
The beast system is not just a political construct, it is a spiritual counterfeit. We're witnessing the birth of new religions built not on truth or repentance, but on technology, ego, and control. Transhumanism teaches that you can become immortal through machines. Tech prophets claim we'll upload our minds into the cloud. Artificial intelligence is being trained to replace God, answering prayers, giving moral guidance, and soon demanding worship. And people will fall for it because the world has been groomed to believe that salvation comes from within and not from Christ, that enlightenment is found in data, that godhood can be downloaded. This is the image of the beast, not carved from stone, but built from code, not standing in a temple, but embedded in every device, a system that will speak, act, and enforce global worship. And if you don't comply, you'll be cut off, not just from society, but from life itself.
You know, an article that has 1,000 words, technically all 1,000 words could have made it onto X somehow. And effectively, now you have this remarkable repository. And I wonder how you think about that again, and how you think the creative community and those who were the original IP owners should think about that.
I don't know, except to say that by the time these lawsuits are decided, we'll have digital God. So I have to have digital God at that point. These lawsuits won't be decided before at a time frame that is relevant.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I think we live, you know, there's that, I don't know if it's actually.
If there's a digital God being the beast, what would his image be? A robot?
Real Chinese saying or not, but may you live in interesting times. Right. It's apparently not a good thing. Personally, I would prefer to live in interesting times. And we live in the most interesting of times. I think for a while there, I was like really getting demotivated and losing sleep over the threat of AI danger. And then I finally sort of became fatalistic about it and said, well, even if I knew annihilation was certain, would I choose to be alive at that time or not? And I said I probably would choose to be alive at that time because it's the most interesting thing, even if there's nothing I could do about it. So then, basically sort of a fatalistic resignation helped me sleep at night because I was having trouble sleeping at night because of AI danger. Now, what to do about it? I mean, I've been the biggest, the one banging the drum the hardest, by far the longest, or at least one of the longest for AI danger. And these regulatory things that are happening, the single biggest reason they're happening is because of me.
This is no longer a test run. This is the system. It's active, it's global, and it's closing in fast. You cannot escape it by running. You won't outsmart it with research. You can't outlast it through prepping, because this battle isn't just physical, it's spiritual. There's only one escape, and his name is Jesus Christ. He's the only one who can seal you with the mark that the beast cannot touch. He's the only one who offers life beyond the grid. And he's the only one who can give you peace when the world collapses into chaos. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark. That time is upon us. So choose now.
All right. That's it for that. That's it for that. So what you got to do? What you got to do? Let's go see. Ephesians chapter 6. Verse 10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Most High and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of Yah, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles, against the tricks of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. One of my brothers would say low places, but in high places, right? These people in these spirits that we wrestling with, right, are operating in and through people who are in your government, who are some of the wealthiest men on this earth. And some of these people, men and women, right, are invoking these principalities and these wicked spirits because they're Satanists, right? We're going to read later about this bloodline of the Illuminati, the 13th bloodline of the Illuminati, who thinks, and it is said that the Antichrist will come through that line because they believe that they have the blood of Christ in their bloodline and also the blood of Satan in their bloodline. All right, let's get back to these videos. All right, I got this one right here. This is by Shattered Paradise, and it is titled "The Pope Dies at 88. The Clock is Ticking." It's a 40-minute video, so I'm gonna go take me a nap now. Fair use. Fair use.
Calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious.
And Pete, right? I don't remember the exact year that this movie came out, but I was very young, right? And this is about time travel. Since then, up until now, there have been a plethora of movies made about time travel. Remember, I said at the beginning of the stream, and I've said it time and time before, they don't put stuff in movies that they haven't already done or that they're not already doing. Somebody somewhere, whatever scientists, whether it be one of they German scientists or they Russian scientists or whatever scientists they got, somebody somewhere has traveled time and came back. That's my conspiracy theory, quote unquote.
What did I tell you? 88 miles per hour! Where the hell are they? The appropriate question.
88 miles per hour for them to travel time, huh? 88. Pope died at age 88.
The question is, where in the hell are they? You see, Einstein has just become the world's first time traveler. I sent him into the future.
The People's Pope, from the beginning, embraced a papacy of humility, choosing the name Francis after Francis of Assisi, the 13th century patron saint of the poor. The day he was elected in 2013, appearing before crowds dressed in a simple white cassock and an iron cross, not the traditional gold. He used his pulpit to highlight the plight of the sick, the poor, and the forgotten. No surprise from a man who, as cardinal in Argentina, lived in a small apartment, rode the subway, and cooked his own meals.
He could understand
regular people. I'm an ordinary person, an ordinary guy with an extraordinary job. And I think that the message was, I am one of you.
Gino, run this down to the professor for me. Sounds like it's getting a little nervous.
This is clear. Look.
What's that? What do you got?
All these people applied for Social Security cards in the same town in New Jersey on the exact same date.
New Jersey?
46 Yo-Yo Dine employees, Grover's Mills, New Jersey, 11/1/38. I got some pictures, boys.
Here's like a practical joke. Check out these names. John Yaya, John Parrott, John Big Booty.
Maybe not John Nolan, John O'Connor.
No way, Jose. John Smallberries? It's a joke. Maybe that's what Buckaroo was talking about when he said...
No, Reno. There are no ages and no places of birth. Grover's Mill, 1938. Why is that so familiar?
They all have the same first name. John. Somebody's playing games here. This is statistically impossible.
No. Wait a minute. November 1, October, 30 days of September, April, June, November. When short February is done, all the rest have 31, October 31st. Halloween. Oh, don't you get it? Orson Welles.
You mean the guy from the old wine commercials?
Halloween, 1938, a War of the Worlds, that fake radio news broadcast that got everybody scared, thinking real live Martians were landing in Grover's Mill, New Jersey. But then it all just turned out to be a hoax. So maybe it wasn't a hoax, or maybe it isn't a hoax.
Buckaroo, President's on line 1 calling about, is everything okay with the alien spacecraft from Planet 10, or should he just go ahead and destroy Russia?
Tell him yes on 1 and no on 2.
Experience the adventures of Buckaroo Banzai across the 8th dimension. Rated PG. Check newspapers for selected theaters.
Which was yes, destroy Russia, or number 2?
Pope Francis turns 88, becoming the third oldest pope still in office.
On December 17th, 497 BC, the Romans celebrated their pagan holiday Saturnalia, a celebration honoring their god of agriculture and a bunch of other things, with partying and sacrifice. On December 17, 1862, the stormy history of civil rights in the United States was once again shamefully marred when Major General Ulysses S. Grant, future President of the United States, issued his infamous General Order Number 11, which expelled all Jews from Tennessee, Kentucky, and Mississippi, the states in the military district he commanded. On December 17, 1969, the U.S. Air Force shut down Project Blue Book, its investigation of UFOs. On December 17, 1989, The Simpsons premiered on American television with their first episode, Simpsons Roasting on an Open Fire.
Homer, Lisa needs braces.
Don't worry. We won a dental plan in the strike of '88. That's where I got this scar.
Prince William has explained the story behind his Harry Potter scar and how it occasionally glows. During his latest royal engagement, the Prince of Wales recounted a childhood golfing incident that left him with a distinctive scar on his forehead while speaking to Pierre Paslier, the co-founder of Nopla. According to BBC's Newsround, William previously referred to the injury as his Harry Potter scar because it sometimes glows, noting some people notice it, other times they don't notice it at all. William added, I got hit by a golf club when I was playing golf with a friend of mine. We were on a putting green and the next thing you know, there was a 7-iron and it came out of nowhere and hit me in the head.
What do we want?
More equitable treatment in the hands of management.
When do we want it?
Soon. Where's my burrito? Where's my burrito? Where's my burrito? No!
On December 17, 2003, the 100th anniversary of the first powered flight of a human-piloted aircraft flown by Orville Wright was marked by another aviation first, that being the first supersonic flight by a human-piloted aircraft that was built by a private company, when Spaceship One piloted by Brian Binney, achieved Mach 1.2 in a rocket-powered test flight to a lofty altitude of 20.67 kilometers, almost 68,000 feet. On December 17, 2009, a large but largely rusted tub of a ship, the MV Danny F2, sunk off the coast of Lebanon, taking with her 44 humans. Accounts vary with numbers of people from 39 to 47 rescued, and, as far as we can determine, a record amount of domestic animals. Finally, on December 17, 2017, Orthodox Christians celebrated the Feast of Daniel, a recognized prophet in Christian.
Where can we find this feast in Scripture? The Feast of Daniel. I'm about to look that up. The Feast of Daniel.
Christianity, a recognized Nabi in Islam, saintly or righteous man, and although Judaism does not consider Daniel a prophet, it does accord him status as a legendary example of a pious and good man.
Only Pope Leo XIII, who reached the age of 93, and Pope Agathon, a 7th century pope who supposedly lived to be 102, are ahead of him. Pope Benedict XVI died at the age of 95, but had left office at 85.
In Europe and around the world, there's a new car everyone's out to catch. The 88 Corona. With twin cam, 16-valve performance, it brings a new level of power to luxury. The new 88 Corona, the car everyone's out to catch.
And then think about this, right? They showing you that this movie came out in 1985, right? 1985. If they showing you time travel in 1985, imagine what they doing now. Imagine what this 40 years. Imagine what they doing now. Because believe you me, they have specified scientists working on this type of stuff every day. And they probably don't sleep as much as you and I probably sleep. Think about that. And be not ignorant.
A
sign from God. Just hours after the Pope announced his surprise resignation, the heavens over Rome opened and the top of St. Peter's Basilica was struck by lightning. As the sky was lit up by the huge bolt, it led to speculation as to whether Benedict XVI's boss was less than happy with the news. The apparent divine intervention came as the 85-year-old pontiff sent shockwaves through the church on Monday after announcing his retirement, the first pope to do so in 700 years, saying he no longer had the mental or physical strength to carry on.
We searched all through the night.
Crazy drunk driver.
The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. We decided long ago that to secret proceedings, opposed to secret societies.
Y'all see that down there at the bottom right? The Masonic Order, the CC and the RCC and Vatican, Masonic orders and Freemasonry, Roman Emperor families created. Not only did they create those, but they created the Knights Templar, the Knights of Malta, the Rosicrucian Order, the Jesuit Order, and guess what else? I'm not going to say the word, but they highlighted it for you.
To secret oaths and to secret proceedings. We decided long ago that the dangers of excessive and unwarranted concealment.
This guy right here, I don't think he's in this position anymore. But this is the Black Pope, right? Let me see. Let me see here. Y'all bear with me. Where is that? I think that it is him. Arturo Sosa. No, that's not him. Adolfo Nicholas. Arturo Sosa. Elected in 2016. I think they be superior generals for so long. I'll look into that later, right? But check this out. I hope y'all reading this. Said, did you know even though the CIA is considered a U.S. intelligence organization, it is not. It is a cleverly disguised Vatican organization. They did this so the U.S. and not them would be blamed for the atrocities the CIA commits worldwide. Right? It's perfect time for this right here. The faithful watchers of these channels would know what this is, right? The most powerful man in the world, the Black Pope. All right, this comes from the President of the World lesson that I did in 2023, right? Which I'm gonna have to bring back out because they struck it from the channel for medical misinformation. Right? Check this out. It says, so you thought this is from WordPress.com. It says right here, the link right here, warning Illuminati.wordpress.com / y'all see it right there, right? Matter of fact, so y'all can have it. I put it in the last stream. I'm put it in this stream. Right. It says, so you thought you were pretty well informed by now about all the main players on the conspiracy playing field. You've maybe been hearing for years about or bumped into on your own the various elements of society who control our world from behind the scenes. Right. This is a video right here that was on this channel on YouTube. But you see, the video has been terminated. The YouTube account associated with this video has been terminated, right? It says he is the most powerful man on earth who rule over maritime laws. He controls the banking system, Freemasonry, and the secret services. CIA, FBI, NSA, SIS, MI6, Scotland Yard, Mossad, CSIS, DGSE, and the FSB. The Vatican owns 60% of all Israel lands and the land of the Temple Mount for their third Solomon's Temple, where they want their throne. He is a part of the Arcanorum controlled by the papal bloodlines within the Aimori. Right? Look all this stuff up. Look it up. These bloodlines are the omega point of control. These are the Farnes, Orsini, Aldo Bradini, Somaglia, and Breakspear. Their war room command center is within the Borgo Santi Spirito, which is missile protected. Their command center, these popes from the papal bloodline, they have a war room command center protected by missiles. Victor Emmanuel IV wanted to nuke this region of Rome. Henry Breakspear and Pepe Orsini are in high control. Jesuit assistancy soldier James Groomer controls the United States Corporation, right? I'm not going to give the rest of it up because I'm just going to spend the whole stream reading this article, right? Back to the video.
Of pertinent facts far outweighed the dangers which are cited to justify it. Even today, there is little value in opposing the threat of a closed society by imitating its arbitrary restrictions. Even today, there is little value.
What y'all are seeing right here, all of these people right here are the possible Merovingian bloodline. All of these people here, possible Merovingian bloodline. And we'll dig into that a little bit later.
Its arbitrary restrictions. Even today, there is little value in ensuring the survival of our nation if our traditions do not survive with it. And there is very grave danger that an announced need for increased security will be seized upon by those anxious to expand its meaning to the very limits of official censorship and concealment. That I do not intend to permit to the extent that it's in my control. And no official of my administration, whether his rank is high or low, civilian or military, should interpret my words here tonight as an excuse to censor the news, to stifle dissent, to cover up our mistakes, or to withhold from the press and the public the facts they deserve to know. For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence, on infiltration instead of invasion, on subversion instead of elections, on intimidation instead of free choice, on guerrillas by night instead of armies by day. It is a system which has conscripted vast human and material resources into the building of a tightly knit, highly efficient machine that combines military, diplomatic, intelligence, economic, scientific, and political operations. Its preparations are concealed, not published. Its mistakes are buried, not headlined. Its dissenters are silenced, not praised. No expenditure is questioned, no rumor is printed, no secret is revealed. No president should fear public scrutiny of his program, for from that scrutiny comes understanding, and from that understanding comes support or opposition, and both are necessary. I am not asking your newspapers to support an administration, but I am asking your help in the tremendous task of informing and alerting the American people. For I have complete confidence in the response and dedication of our citizens whenever they are fully informed. I not only could not stifle controversy among your readers, I welcome it. This administration intends to be candid about its errors. For as a wise man once said, an error doesn't become a mistake until you refuse to correct it. We intend to accept full responsibility for our errors, and we expect you to point them out when we miss them. Without debate, without criticism, no administration and no country can succeed, and no republic can survive. That is why the Athenian lawmaker Solon decreed it a crime for any citizen to shrink from controversy. And that is why our press was protected by the First Amendment, the only business in America specifically protected by the Constitution, not primarily to amuse and entertain, not to emphasize the trivial and the sentimental, not to simply give the public what it wants, but to inform, to arouse, to reflect, to state our dangers and our opportunities, to indicate our crises and our choices, to lead, mold, educate, and sometimes even anger public opinion.
Although fully 25% of Americans were Catholic by 1960, Kennedy was America's first Catholic president. He was also a longtime member of the Knights of Columbus, having joined soon after coming home from the war in the Pacific in 1946. And as president, he happily welcomed Supreme Knight Luke Hart to the White House. But in November 1963, his life and presidency were suddenly and tragically ended by an assassin's bullet. A nation in shock watched in stunned silence the unprecedented live television coverage of his funeral and the slow, sad procession toward Arlington National Cemetery. There he was laid to rest on a hill topped by Arlington House, with a classic view of the Lincoln Memorial to the east. Among the items buried with him was a silver rosary. Next to his grave, an eternal flame was lit, a continuing reminder of the ideals for which he had given such a clarion call as he assumed the presidency.
We begin this morning, though, with some breaking news. A tsunami advisory is in effect right now in southern Japan after two powerful earthquakes. The 7.1 and 6.9 magnitude quake struck off the southern main island of Kyushu. Minutes later, two more earthquakes with magnitudes in the fours hit. The aftershocks, of course. No word on a danger or injuries at this time.
A landslide victory for the Russian President Vladimir Putin as he extends his mandate as the leader of the Russian Federation.
Introducing the safest dog fence ever created. The new Halo Collar 3 is a virtual fence inside a collar. Easily create GPS fences right in the app, wherever you go. Teach your dog to stay away from danger and come back to safety. When they are safe everywhere, you can go anywhere. Always protected by Halo. Get the new Halo Collar 3, the safest GPS dog fence ever created.
What did I tell you? 88 miles per hour!
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, Doc, you disintegrated Einstein.
Calm down, Marty. I didn't disintegrate anything. The molecular structure of both Einstein and the car are completely intact.
Where the hell are they?
The appropriate question is, when the hell are they? You see, Einstein has just become the world's first time traveler. I sent him into...
Paying attention to that. Einstein has become the world's first time traveler. Peep the subliminals. Einstein has become the world's first time traveler. It's the reason why they always bigging this man up. World's most smartest man. Reason.
To the future.
that's measured at Lionsgate portal. Huh. The Lionsgate portal. This new pope has named himself Leo, which represents what? A lion. Let's move on. Let's move further. Right? Move further. So this video right here is titled Highly Censored Content. They don't want you to know this. Check this out.
We know this will take trillions, not billions of dollars. We also know that countries, many of whom are burdened by growing levels of debt, simply cannot afford to go green. Here we need a vast military-style campaign to marshal the strength of the global private sector.
It has been just 100 days.
I was saved by God to make America great again.
A presidency like no other.
The budget plan I submit to you on February 8th will realize major savings by dismantling the departments of energy and education and by eliminating ineffective subsidies for business. We will continue to redirect our resources to our two highest budget priorities: a strong national defense to keep America free and at peace, and a reliable safety net of social programs for those who have contributed and those who are in need.
Norms upended.
The chainsaw for bureaucracy.
Allies shocked.
Canada is going to be a very serious contender to be our 51st state.
Notably unresigned, Mr. Carney is with me now. Now, you're looking very, very dapper and very cool, but a huge torrent of verbal ordure has poured on your head since you took this decision. And I've read some of the quotes, there are plenty more. You may have heard Andrea Leadsom saying it was a very dangerous thing to do. So why, in short, did you feel that you had the right and indeed possibly the duty to wade into what is a British political argument?
Well, first thing to say, Andrew, thanks for having me on. Understand there's a lot of passion on all sides of this debate. Central banking isn't a passionate business. It's subjective, it's analytic, it's evidence-based, and the judgments we take, and I would emphasize the we, these are judgments taken by independent committees, 9 members on the Monetary Policy Committee. Those judgments are carefully considered. And those judgments only reflect our remits, our mandates, the issues we have to deliver. So we have to deliver the inflation target. We have to look out over
about inflation and so forth, but not about sovereignty.
Exactly.
In state bonds, 1825, the German legal expert Johann Heinrich Bender identified this as one of the Rothschilds' principal contributions to modern economic development. Any owner of government bonds can collect the interest at his convenience in several different places without any effort. Henceforth, an investor could receive the interest on Austrian Metallique, Neapolitan Rent, or any other Rothschild-issued bonds from any of the Rothschild houses. Although the terms of the loan were heavily criticized in Berlin, not least by the bankers there, Humboldt and Rother were impressed. Rother went further. The Rothschild in this country has an incredible influence upon all financial affairs here in London. It is widely stated, and is indeed close to the truth, that he entirely regulates the rate of exchange in the city. His power as a banker is enormous.
We need Greenland for national security.
And shafted.
You're gambling with World War III.
Moments no one predicted.
Trump Gaza, #1.
The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip. We'll own it.
In an unpublished passage of the Baths of Lucca, Heine sought to analyze the nature of the Rothschilds' power more precisely. Here he acknowledges that in the short term it served to shore up the reactionary regimes. Revolutions are generally triggered off by deficiency of money. By preventing such deficiencies, the Rothschild system may serve to preserve peace in Europe.
Franklin Roosevelt's administration is famous for accomplishing many things in its first 100 days. What did he do that was so significant? How did it change the nation? As Franklin Roosevelt was preparing to enter the White House, he consulted the opinions of several individuals that he had trusted for years. Adolph Burrell, Raymond Moley, and Rexford Tugwell were professors at Columbia University and men who had secretly advised the president during his years as governor of New York. These men came to be known as the Brain Trust. Roosevelt would frequently suggest ideas to them and listen to their opinions and advice. While the Brain Trust never officially met during his presidency, the trio undoubtedly had influence over his decision-making process. Roosevelt had other close advisors that he consulted as well, many of whom became a part of his administration. Of course, his closest advisor was his wife Eleanor. When Roosevelt assumed the presidency in March of 1933, his first action was to order all banks to take a holiday for 4 days. By doing this, he hoped to calm people's anxieties about the banking industry. Fearful citizens had been attempting to pull their money out of the banks, believing they would close. This holiday gave everyone a chance to calm down, and banks reopened 4 days later, with few people rushing to take their money out. Following that, the new president called a special session of Congress. After Roosevelt had been in office for only 4 days, the first of the New Deal laws, the Emergency Banking Relief Act, was passed. This was followed by a slew of legislation, most of which occurred from March 20th through June 16th of 1933. The Economy Act, signed on March 20th, was designed to balance the federal budget by reducing government salaries. The Federal Emergency Relief Act authorized $500 million to provide relief for poor families in the form of food and clothing. Other major pieces of legislation included the agriculture.
Y'all heard it? $500 million for 4 families. Sheesh. Imagine what they can do to our whole nation. For our whole nation, rather. $500 million for 4 families. It's crazy.
Cultural Adjustment Act, the Federal Securities Act, and the National Employment System Act. During the first 100 days, Roosevelt also created the Civilian Conservation Corps, which provided 250,000 jobs for men between the ages of 18 and 25. The Tennessee Valley Authority was also established. This project would build hydroelectric dams and provide electricity to the Tennessee Valley region. The first 100 days altered the way that many view the office of the president. At the time, many in Washington, D.C. were critical of the new president for doing too much too quickly. However, today, an incoming president is often viewed by how much is or is not accomplished during the first 100 days of the administration.
This system, or rather, Nathan Rothschild, its inventor, is still providing firm foundations for such peace. It does not inhibit one state from making war on another exactly as before, but it does make it difficult for the people to overthrow established authority. Religion is no longer able to guarantee the governments that the people will remain peaceful. The Rothschild system of loans can perform the task much better. It possesses the moral force or power which religion has lost. It can act as a surrogate for religion. Indeed, it is a new religion. When the old religion finally goes under, it will provide substitutes for its practical blessings.
And the tariffs.
I'd like to see the chart if you have it.
Everyone predicted them, but it didn't soften the blow.
China, first row.
Until he U-turned.
They were getting yippy, you know.
Migrants removed with court-defying deportations. In every way, for the delighted and the disgusted, this has been a truly consequential 3 months.
The year is 1940, and Britain is being pounded by Axis forces in the east. The Far East forces of Japan have laid siege to Asia and the Pacific Islands. And isolationist and is avoiding all entanglement in the war.
Why are we determined to devote our entire industrial effort to the prosecution of a war which has not yet actually touched our shores? We're not a warlike people. We've never sought glory as a nation of warriors. We're not interested in aggression.
America entering the war seems like the only hope for the Allied forces. This is the reason many people believe that Franklin D. Roosevelt betrayed America. And isolationist and is avoiding all entanglement in the war.
Why are we determined to devote our entire industrial effort to the prosecution of a war which has not yet actually touched our shores? We're not a warlike people. We've never sought glory as a nation of warriors. We're not interested in aggression.
I've signed legislation that will outlaw Russia forever. We begin bombing in 5 minutes.
It was the joke heard around the world, the one by President Reagan about bombing the Soviet Union, and it resulted in a Soviet red alert, and it became a campaign issue in this country. Now, Marvin Kalb has learned that the Soviets responded in their own fashion.
The president was joking his way through an audio check on August 11th.
That I've signed legislation that will outlaw Russia forever. We begin bombing in 5 minutes.
By August 14th, the story became world news, a major item on Moscow television where the joke was not treated as a laughing matter. August 15th, a coded message left Soviet military headquarters in Vladivostok. It said, in part, "We now embark on military action against the U.S. forces." The code was instantly broken by U.S. and Japanese intelligence. This is what then happened. A special command unit in Ussurisk went on wartime alert. Key Japanese military units raised their readiness status.
Fundamental rights, including the rights of labor, are threatened by Hitler's violent attempt to rule the world. These rights were established by our forefathers on the field of battle. They have been defended at great cost, but with great success on the field of battle, here on our own soil and in foreign lands and on all the seas all over the world.
You know, we're not dealing with stupid people. You know, it used to be we would have a military, you'd have uniforms here, uniforms there. The one with the most uniforms standing wins the war, right? This is a little different now. Now you're talking about sneaky, dirty, underhanded people that want to kill our civilians. They want to go after our civilians. They want to kill not only our civilians, all over the world. And it's going to be stopped. It's going to be stopped. Somebody criticized me the other day because they asked me what I do. And I said, I'm going to bomb the out of them. It's true. I don't care. I don't care. They've got to be stopped.
The arms embargo is far too great a security to American peace to permit its surrender without a last-ditch fight. You people who oppose war and dictatorship, do not be dismayed, because the warmongers and the interventionists control most of the avenues of propaganda.
Strangely enough, it is once again the Jews who invented this new religion. As early as 1828, Prince Hutler Muskau referred to Rothschild, without whom no power in Europe today seems able to make war.
I'm pretty sure y'all have seen this. This power outage was nothing more than a test run, just like C-19 was. Just a test run to see who would bend the knee to their agenda.
The accusations from Paris are stark. According to the government, Russia has orchestrated a wave of cyber attacks on France. Targets include an organization tied to the 2024 Paris Olympics and election campaigns. According to the Foreign Ministry, a branch of Russia's military intelligence dedicated to such attacks has since 2021 also targeted institutions across defense, military, and the economy.
The Russian military intelligence service has been deploying a cyber-offensive modus operandi called APT-28 against France for several years. It has targeted around 10 French entities since 2021.
APT-28, also known as Fancy Bear, has been tied to dozens of high-profile cyber attacks around the globe, among them the 2016 US election, where the group allegedly helped Donald Trump by leaking Democratic Party emails. And in 2017, during Emmanuel Macron's first presidential run, the same hackers leaked thousands of documents just 24 hours before the vote, according to the French Foreign Ministry.
In 2017, in the midst of the presidential election, APT-28 participated in a massive hacking operation with the aim of sowing doubt and influencing public opinion.
This is the first time the French government officially attributes the cyber attacks to the Russian military intelligence. France, though, isn't APT-28's only target. In September last year, several international intelligence services warned of new Fancy Bear operations against the NATO countries.
Emmanuel Jean-Michel Frédéric Macron was born on December 21, 1977, in the city of Amiens, in northern France. He was the eldest of 3 children, born to a family of doctors, his father a neurologist and his mother a physician. From a young age, Emmanuel stood out. He was a gifted student, passionate about literature, theater, and philosophy, but his story would take an unexpected turn during his teenage years. At the age of 15, while attending a Jesuit school in Amiens, Emmanuel fell in love with someone very unusual, his drama teacher, Brigitte Trogneux, 24 years his senior, married, and a mother of 3. Their relationship shocked everyone around them. Emmanuel's parents sent him away to finish his studies in Paris, hoping to end the romance. But he made a promise to Brigitte, no matter what you do, I will come back and marry you. Years later, he kept his word. The couple married in 2007, defying societal norms and proving that love, however unconventional, can endure. While their love story caught the public's eye, Macron's professional rise was just beginning. After earning degrees in philosophy and public affairs, he attended the prestigious École Nationale d'Administration, ENA, known for producing France's top political leaders. Macron then entered the world of high finance, working as an investment banker at Rothschild & Co. He quickly gained a reputation for being sharp, confident, and persuasive. At 34, he helped broker a multi-billion euro deal between Nestlé and Pfizer, earning both wealth and notoriety.
Today's countdown to the royal wedding is brought to you by Pfizer.
But Macron wasn't destined to stay France. In 2012, he entered politics, joining President François Hollande's administration as a senior advisor, and later becoming Minister of the Economy in 2014. As minister, he pushed through controversial reforms, deregulating parts of the economy and clashing with unions. He supported entrepreneurship and modernization, earning both admiration and criticism. Then came the boldest move of his life. In 2016, Macron resigned from government and launched a brand new political movement, En Marche, neither left nor right, a centrist force aimed at shaking up the political establishment. At first, the French media and political elites mocked him. He had no party infrastructure, no political machine, and no elected experience. But Macron had something rare: charisma, ambition, and a clear message of hope and renewal. Within a year, he stunned the world. In May 2017, Emmanuel Macron was elected President of France at the age of 39, the youngest president in French history, and the youngest French head of state since Napoleon Bonaparte.
Napoleon, Alexander the Great, Donald Trump, we're all cut from the same cloth.
In a multipolar world in which five powers with distinct interests sought to resolve international crises without resorting to war,
one of those 10 kings, right? The 10 Roman rulers, them families. One of them being the Franks, right? Them 10 families that are prophesied in the book of Daniel. One of them being the Franks. They ruled France. Do your homework on Franks.
Rothschilds acted not so much to ensure peace as to underwrite it once it had been made. The case was put in a more sophisticated form by the left-leaning liberal J.A. Hobson, author of the classic Imperialism, a Study, 1902. Like many radical writers of the period, Hobson regarded the Boer War as having been engineered by a small group of international financiers, chiefly German in origin and Jewish in race. The Rothschilds, in his view, were central to this group. Does anyone seriously suppose, he asked in Imperialism, that a great war could be undertaken by any European state or any great state loan subscribed if the House of Rothschild and its connections set their face against it?
Over 90% of Americans did not want to enter the war. So he and some naval intelligence officers devised a plan to provoke the Japanese and have them fire the first shot. Lieutenant Commander Arthur H. McCollum came up with these 8 actions that would provoke the Japanese. Number 1, make an arrangement with Britain for the use of British bases in the Pacific, particularly Singapore. 2, make an arrangement with Holland for the use of base facilities and acquisition of supplies in the Dutch East Indies, now known as Indonesia. 3, give all possible aid to the Chinese government of Chiang Kai-shek. 4, send a division of long-range heavy cruisers to the Orient, Philippines, or Singapore. 5, send 2 divisions of submarines to the Orient. 6, keep the main strength of the U.S. fleet, now in the Pacific, in the vicinity of the Hawaiian Islands. 7, insist that the Dutch refuse to grant Japanese demands for undue economic concessions, particularly oil. 8, completely embargo all trade with Japan in collaboration with a similar embargo imposed by the British Empire. And even before making these steps, he had a good idea of what they would shoot at. Franklin Delano Roosevelt knew just where the Japanese would attack: Pearl Harbor. He knew that it would happen whether we provoked them or not.
Today, December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy. The United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces
Here we need a vast military-style campaign to marshal the strength of the global private sector. With trillions at its disposal, far beyond global GDP, and with the greatest respect, beyond even the governments of the world's leaders, it offers the only real prospect of achieving fundamental economic transition.
American public opinion changed drastically towards entering the war, and December 7th quickly became a call to arms.
A year has passed, and we do honor to our beloved dead who fell before the sneak Jap. We remember, each of us gathered here today, safely sheltered. We remember the graves far away, nurses, soldiers, children of Pearl Harbor, stabbed in the back. But remembering is not enough. Hating is not enough. Sacrifices, yes, no matter what. And what do they ask of us, the heroes we mourn? What do they ask of us, our marching sons across the seas? To stand shoulder to shoulder with them, here at home to do the job of forging the guns of vengeance. They're marching now. The rhythm of our marching boys thrills the world. Avenge December the 7th. On to victory. Everyone in this theater can know the personal pride and joy of taking part too. Sure, you've bought bonds and stamps. But when you buy this week, mark in your memory their bonds of vengeance. When you leave this theater, stop and remember that cruel morning just a year ago. Each day this week in motion picture theaters throughout the land, Americans are remembering with vengeance in their hearts. Tears, too. Why not? Bonds are our weapons. Stop on the way out. You want to say what's in your heart? Say it with bonds.
Robert Fernandez. Robert? Yes. Nice seeing you, Robert. Served on the USS Curtis that delivered return fire against the enemy, and he really gave it to them pretty good. They were very successful at the return fire. Good job. You look like you're about 50 years old. You must have been very young. You look great. What is the age?
93 now.
93. Well, you look great. George Blake stood watch on the Hawaiian shores, ready to repulse a feared invasion. George, thank you, George. Good. It was pretty wild scene. You'll never forget that, right?
I've never forgotten.
No, you haven't, and you fought hard. Alexander Horaz enlisted in the Army when he was only 17. Alex served throughout the war, but if you tried to call him a hero, he'd tell you he was just a regular grunt in the service. That's what he told us. A regular grunt. I don't think so. Thank you. Thank you. I know it is. You're not a regular anything. You're a hero. You're a hero. All of you are heroes.
Cherub had made much the same point from a German nationalist perspective in his history. The House of Rothschild has arisen from the quarrels between states, has become great and mighty from wars, and the misfortune of states and peoples has been its fortune.
On the Iran situation, I think we're doing very well. I think a deal's going to be made there. That's going to happen. Pretty sure it's going to happen. We'll have something without having to start dropping bombs all over the place.
English examples can also be found. In refusing Gladstone's request to make Lionel de Rothschild a peer, Queen Victoria explicitly questioned whether one who owes his great wealth to contracts with foreign governments for loans or to successful speculations on the stock exchange can fairly claim a British peerage. A good illustration is John Reeves's book, The Rothschilds, The Financial Rulers of Nations, which returns a typical verdict. The Rothschilds belong to no one nationality. They are cosmopolitan. They belong to no party. They were ready to grow rich at the expense of friend and foe alike.
They're the ones who should be arresting, not me. Why don't you say that before? What do we got here? Cam, this is William Klein.
He was wrecking an office. But I just wanted to meet them face to face. I wanted them to admit what they were doing.
Who is they?
He was in the office of the Trilateral Commission.
Trilateral Commission.
Yeah, the Trilateral Commission.
All right, what is the Trilateral Commission?
It's an organization founded in 1973 by David Rockefeller to bring together business and political leaders from the United States, Europe, Japan, so they could work together for better economic and political cooperation between their nations.
They put it in movies, TV shows, music, commercials, and video games. Be not ignorant in anything.
Well, that's what they'd like us to believe. But you see, what they're really up to is a scheme to plant their own loyal members in positions of power in this country.
That's exactly what's happened. Why y'all running down to the polls to vote when they already have their officials whom they want in office selected?
To work to erase national boundaries and create an international community, and in time bring about a one world government with David Rockefeller calling the shots.
They put it right in your face.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order.
And this guy right here is an offspring of the Franks.
A world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
Soviet naval vessels in the North Pacific.
Know how they're going to be successful, or they already successful, because it went unknown for so long. And the people that knew something about it were either eliminated or paid off. Now, even if somebody wanted to do something about it, they couldn't, because according to the snowball effect, ain't no way to stop this thing now. It done gained too much strength, too much traction. Can't slow it down, can't stop it. All we got to do is prepare and be not ignorant of his devices.
Baffled by the order, check with Vladivostok. Confusion. U.S. intelligence urgently canvassed for signs of an imminent Soviet attack. Found none.
There was what they described as a wayward operator in the Soviet Far Eastern Command who sent out a message alerting Soviet forces in that area that a state of war existed between the United States and the Soviet Union.
Within 30 minutes, the mysterious Soviet alert was canceled. Was it unusual? Not according to U.S. officials.
They said it particularly happens on weekends when discipline is a little less than it might be on weekdays.
But August 15th was a weekday. One senator said the alert must have been a joke. A congressman said it was Russia's way of answering the president. Most officials said no comment, though one did speculate that the Russian might have been drunk.
Ronald Reagan was 2 months into his presidency when John Hinckley Jr. drew a $29 handgun outside the Washington Hilton Hotel on March 30th, 1981. He wounded the president, Brady, a Secret Service agent, and a Washington police officer. Reagan and his guards fully recovered.
And then the worst president in the history of our country took over. And look what happened to our country. Probably 20 million people. And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
You know what I said when I seen this? Bro, how he get grazed in the ear, ain't nobody behind him get shot. Where the bullet go? Where did the bullet go?
Moving there. Hold. When you're ready. On you. Ready. Move. Up. Move. Go. Up. All guys here. We ready?
Okay, we are watching live at a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, where former President Trump was speaking on the stage. There has been some kind of disturbance that clearly sets law enforcement and Secret Service into motion, immediately jumping around the former president in a protective mode. The crowd has been screaming. They are standing by. You can hear some voices there saying, "Are we ready to go? Are we ready to go?" We are looking at President Trump. This does not look good. I'm going to be honest with you. From what we can see right here, it looks like they are attempting to move him out, that he may have been injured. He is holding up his arm. He is pumping his fist, but clearly Secret Service wants to get him out of this situation.
And we're here tonight in the heartland of our nation to celebrate the most successful first 100 days of any administration in the history of our country. And that's according to many, many people. This is the best, they say, 100-day start of any president in history, and everyone is saying it. We've just gotten started. You haven't even seen anything yet. It's all just kicking in.
McDonald is here live on Monday Night Raw. Hey, look at this! Donald Trump! Donald Trump! Oh my God! The hostile takeover of Donald Trump on Vince McMahon has happened at WrestleMania 23. I didn't think he would do it.
Okay, kids, make it fast. I've got a plane to catch.
We've created a magazine. Mr. Trump, we give you
Scotty.
We are not merely transferring power from one administration to another or from one party to another, but we are transferring power from Washington, D.C., and giving it back to you, the people.
And we give it back to you, the people.
For too long, a small group in our nation's capital
are corrupt,
has reaped the rewards of government,
the rich,
while the people have borne the cost.
The oppressors of generations who have kept you down with myths of opportunity.
The establishment protected itself, but not the citizens of our country.
And do you accept the resignation of all of these liars, of all the corrupt?
That all changes starting right here and right now, because this moment is your moment. It belongs to you.
None shall interfere. Do as you please.
January 20th, 2017 will be remembered as the day the people became the rulers of this nation again. The United States of America.
It will endure.
Welcome to the Donald Trump Museum, dedicated to America's #1 citizen and America's greatest living folk hero, the one and only Donald Trump. Learn the amazing history of the Trump family.
Somebody criticized me the other day because they asked me what I do, and I said, I'm going to bomb the shit out of them. It's true. I don't care.
And I guess I have some very good enemies, and I like it that way somehow. And I really believe in trashing your enemies.
Inside, you will learn how Donald Trump's father left him a large inheritance.
Nobody's going to do more women than Donald Trump. That I can tell you. That I can tell you. And I think they know it.
Discover how in 2016, Donald Trump successfully lobbied to legalize gambling.
Part of the beauty of me is that I'm very rich.
He wants to run for president and move on into the White House. Why not?
Share in the stupidity of the average American as they made him the 45th president of the United States.
That will easily go down as the greatest president in the history of the United States. Me, Donald John Trump.
No! Hey, no! Hey, great, you come with us upstairs. There we go, Sonny. We can do this the easy way or the hard way.
The easy way.
World War III has never been closer than it is right now. We need to clean house of all of the warmongers and America Last globalists and the deep state, the Pentagon, the State Department, and the national security industrial complex. One of the reasons I was the only president in generations who didn't start a war is that I was the only president who rejected the catastrophic advice of many of Washington's generals, bureaucrats, and the so-called diplomats who only know how to get us into conflict, but they don't know how to get us out.
Mr. Brand, gentlemen, this is the legacy handed down to us by Sir.
Our orders are to burn all the books and gather up supplies. If you come across any refugees, you will bring them forward. The cap is our symbol. Each man will wear it with pride.
How would you say if everything that you knew was a lie?
Roxy, you forgot your diary. You wouldn't want to leave this behind.
Do you know Professor Diedrich? He told me not to get the chip. He said the bombings were planned.
The housing collapse, the financial collapse, all part of a sick plan.
The man himself, Mr. Zern!
Roxy, almost everything in your diary has a prophecy.
By his own will, can a man rule the world?
Yes, sir! Yes, sir!
Those horrible attacks will only drive Zern Global on to ensure two things worldwide: peace and security.
Not far from where we are gathered today, President Harry Truman spoke at the signing of the North Atlantic Treaty. In the nearly 7 decades since Harry Truman spoke those words, the NATO alliance has been the bulwark of international peace and security.
Comments are still headed.
What else is on?
Yeah, let's see what else is. Coming to you now from the largest studio ever constructed, it's The Truman Show!
Yeah!
Good morning!
Good morning.
Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
What if? No scripts, no cue cards.
Morning, Spencer. How's it going?
What if you were watched every moment of your life?
How many cameras you got there in that town?
5,000.
I believe Truman is the first child to have been legally adopted by a corporation.
That's correct.
Brilliant.
What if everyone you knew was pretending?
Hi, honey. Look what I got at the checkout. Dishwasher safe.
That's amazing.
What if your world was make-believe?
Cue the sun. While the world he inhabits is counterfeit.
I'm not allowed to talk to you.
That's how I look. Not your type. There's nothing fake about Truman himself.
What if you didn't know it? Until now.
A lot of strange things have been happening. Stand by ring cam.
Is he looking at us?
Does he think he knows? I think I'm mixed up in something. Something big. We accept the reality with which we're presented.
Everybody's pretending, Truman. Get out of here. Come and find me. Truman? Truman!
Anything happen? No.
Mm-hmm. You may find yourself in another part of the world.
It's like the whole world revolves around me. Everybody seems to be in on it. I'm going away for a while.
You may tell yourself, this is not my beautiful wife. You may ask yourself, how did I get here?
I'm not in on it, Truman, because the last thing that I would ever do is lie to you. Fade up music. That's our hero shot. He's gone.
Okay? Yes! Want to do it again? No!
Find him. Truman, where are you going?
You can do it.
How do we stop him? Give me some lightning.
Is that the best you can do?
Cut transmission. I like your pen. I was wondering that myself.
Jim Carrey. The Truman Show. Watch what happens.
It's you! Yes, man cub. So nice to see you again.
Oh, go away. Leave me alone.
Let me look at you. You don't want me to look at you? Then you look at me.
No, sir. I know what you're trying to do, cop.
You do? You don't trust me.
No.
Then there's nothing I can do to help.
You want to help me?
Certainly.
Okay. So let's dedicate this to General Kelly, the Border Patrol, and the ICE agents for doing such an incredible job. All right. This was written by Al Wilson a long time ago. And I thought of it having to do with our borders and people coming in. And we know what we're going to have. We're going to have problems. We have to very, very carefully vet. We have to be smart. We have to be vigilant. So here it is, the snake. It's called The Snake. On her way to work one morning, down the path along the lake, a tender-hearted woman saw a poor, half-frozen snake. His pretty colored skin had been all frosted with the dew. Poor thing, she cried, I'll take you in, and I'll take care of you. The border. Take me in, O tender woman. Take me in, for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman, sighed the vicious snake. She wrapped him up all cozy in a comforter of silk and laid him by her fireside with some honey and some milk. She hurried home from work that night, and as soon as she arrived, she found that pretty snake she'd taken in had been revived. Take me in, O tender woman. Take me in, for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman, sighed that vicious snake. She clutched him to her bosom. You're so beautiful, she cried. But if I hadn't brought you in by now, oh heavens, you would have died. She stroked his pretty skin again and kissed him and held him tight. But instead of saying thank you, that snake gave her a vicious bite. Take me in, O tender woman. Take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman. Sighed the vicious sake. I have saved you, cried the woman. And you've bitten me, heavens, why? You know your bite is poisonous, and now I'm going to die. Oh, shut up, silly woman, said the reptile with a grin. You knew damn well I was a snake before you took me in. Does that explain it, folks? Does that explain?
Trust in me.
I'm going to end it right there. Most High willing, I come back on tomorrow after the Shabbat with a post-Shabbat chop session and bring out the information on the Merovingians and, you know, all these different bloodlines of the Illuminati that are playing a major part in what's going on today. You know, so I do a part 2 tomorrow because I'm getting a little groggy over here. I'm a little sleepy. Appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Pray this thing was edified. Y'all be blessed and have a great Shabbat. Shalom.